Welcome back, YouTube. J-Dub and Stephanie with you here on Best Beers in Me. We're going to keep it in New England, keep it in Maine, but a New England collaboration. We got Bissell Brothers and Tilted Barn Brewing Cactus Double IPA, 7.8%, and it was brewed 11 days ago. Very fresh.
Can't get much fresher than that.
Here's the original Tilted Barn can. Here's the Bissell can. And if you want to check that out, look at that. They pretty much just made a little take on the original can.
Pretty similar.
And it says this is our take on our pals at Tilted Barn's Cactus DIPA. Brewed in collaboration and faithfully inspired by the original recipe, this beer bursts with tropical flavors and aroma and boasts an extremely soft mouthfeel. Cactus surprisingly sneaky 7 or 8% ABV. So it's just 7.8 with just the right amount of prickle. And then it tells where Bissell Brothers is because that says where Tilted Barn is. Nice little collaboration beer. Actually, what am I doing? Let's get that in the glass. Busted out some old school Bissell wares tonight.
Because you know you gotta have proper glassware.
That's great. Don't have any Tilted Barn. I've never been to Tilted Barn. I want to go to Tilted Barn.
Where is that?
That's in, well, look at the can. Exeter, Rhode Island, that maybe? Something like that. I think Exeter.
It is.
Good episode of the Graining In podcast had Matt Richardson from Tilted Barn, the owner, on. I've listened to that a couple times. They reposted it recently. This also is brewed with Tilted Barn's house yeast. Learned that yesterday in Milo from our good buddy Justin. I get a lot of tropical fruit. I get pineapple, grapefruit, mango. What do you get?
All that and maybe.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah. I'd asphyxiate myself if I did that. Maybe almost a little lemony.
Yeah, I can see that. Very fruity.
All those tropical citrusy fruits. It's hard to tell where one starts and another one ends. There's so many things I get from this.
I don't smell much malt or anything.
Not quite an orange juice look. A little, not quite as bright.
It's not quite as thick as a lot of Bissell beers. You can almost see through that. Almost, not quite.
Yeah.
So it's quite hazy. Maybe more like a pineapple juice.
I was gonna say almost like a dark pineapple juice.
All right. Well, cheers, Stefani.
Cheers.
Cheers, you too. Bright tropical fruit. Pineapple is right there.
Big
a lot of pineapple.
Mango. It's got a little bit of that lemony kick, even on the taste.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a, actually.
Maybe some melon
Melon
flavor in
melony,
there.
maybe a little guava.
Yeah, that could be the yeast from Tilted Barn. I'm not sure what the yeast.
So
we had Cactus one night, or one time one night.
Yeah.
And I can't remember.
Anything with guava. So guava, it's almost kind of like a bitter type fruit. Like you get a bitter taste with it, and I think that's what I'm getting is the guava because this has a little bit of a bitter finish. Not huge, but a little bit. But the more I sip on it, the more of the melon I'm getting.
It's a little bite at the end, but very.
That's what I'm saying. Not
very little.
The bitters or whatever at the end. It's not huge,
not
but
much
it's there.
bitterness. Mostly juice.
Yep.
Which again, I like a little bite on my IPAs personally.
That's got a little bit. It's not
not
tons, but
not
a little.
Much.
It's good. It's darn good.
It's very good flavor. Missing that punch in the back of my throat.
So when we talked yesterday, you know how I feel about the Treehouse beers.
Mm-hmm.
So the more I drink this, I'm getting that melony, like I get from the Treehouse beers, and I like that a lot.
I definitely get a melon.
Yeah.
After it starts out with that pineapple first.
So right at the end, it's almost like a fresh, clean melon.
Yeah, I would agree with that. First thing I noticed right off the bat is pineapple.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
And the pineapple and the rest of the tropical fruits. Grapefruit definitely comes after pineapple, and then definitely more melony with just a hint. I mean, it's barely there, bitterness in the back end, just barely.
So do you think this is very hop forward?
I think it's very bright. I don't know if that makes sense. When something's that tropical forward and it's just so pronounced, I call that bright hops. And so I don't know. That's just the way I've always talked about it.
That makes sense.
You can tell they're fresh. It's a fresh beer.
Oh, absolutely.
And I call that bright. It's just bright hoppy. I don't know.
A bright hoppy beer is good.
but I would like a little more bite.
I was just gonna say
Because I always do.
the one and only thing I would change on this beer. The nose is good, flavor is amazing. It's just a little more of a bite, a little more prickliness at the very end of it. Just a little more of a punch. Would be the only thing I would change. Other than that, I think it's great.
Or we're about to check out Untapped. Go ahead and smash that like button for us. If you haven't already, subscribe and comment if you want. If you had either one of these beers, either the Tilted Byron or the Bissell Variation collaboration beer. I've had both, and I mean, we had this back in October, so it's not fresh on the mind.
And
I remember liking it.
I don't really
quite a
remember
bit.
that one. I don't remember much about it.
It seems to me that one came out a little more turbid or a little more hazy. I don't remember it being, I mean, I guess it's quite hazy. But it doesn't have that quite,
So when I hold mine up to the light,
doesn't quite have that normal Bissell look.
but it's fairly hazy. I can't see my fingers through the glass.
No, you can
When
almost see through it,
When
almost.
I can't see my fingers through the glass when I hold it up. So I mean, it's fairly hazy. Not like some of the Bissell beers though; they're just complete haze.
Right. I mean, again, this doesn't use the normal Bissell yeast, which is going to be part of that, I think, but, and I could be wrong, I remember the Tilted Byron one being a little hazier than that.
So I don't remember it.
Maybe it's just the color, I'm not sure. Anyway, 244 people on Untapped have given this a 4.25, and just 2 of our friends have given it a 3.63.
Oh no.
So our friends aren't liking as much as
No.
the general public.
I would have to disagree.
Chris Brook, he says, not bad, haven't tried the original, and more earthy and piney than I expected. See, I didn't get that at all myself on this one.
No, I didn't either.
But he did.
Yeah,
He's got the blue Bissell
I see
glasses
that. We've
on.
said this a million times though. Everybody's palate is so different that
Oh, absolutely.
10 people could sit and drink the same beer and get 10 different things.
I mean, I wish I got a little pine on that. I love pine.
Am I wrong?
get
No,
it.
really. You could line up 10 people, give them the exact same beer, and they may get 10 different things on that beer.
Yeah.
It's all your palate. I'm sure of it.
Everyone's palate's different. Everyone's preferences are different.
Mhm.
Beers resonate different with different
So
people.
I know in the last 3 years in drinking
Something Cactus Jack's going on, but we're watching some Mick Foley. Cactus Jack with a little Cactus IPA would be a pretty good pairing.
So I've only been into the craft beer scene about 3 years.
Yeah.
And so my
And that's your
palate,
favorite beer ever?
well,
I'm just kidding. I just
it's
want
a
to-
very good beer. I will say this, but my palate has changed completely from when I first started drinking the craft beers to now, which is good and bad because in the beginning I didn't like the lagers, the pilsners, and I've developed a taste for those. On the flip side of that, the IPAs that I really enjoyed in the beginning, that I got all that huge pine and all that big flavor, I don't always get that. But I think you sometimes have so many different beers that it just dulls your palate.
Oh, your palate gets wrecked.
Mhm.
I don't hardly get pine on any IPAs anymore, and I miss it. It's one of the first things I loved about IPAs.
Yeah,
that pine
me
is.
too. Yeah, because you had been drinking them way longer than when I started actually drinking them, and you were a little envious when I would say, "Oh, I get nothing but pine," and you'd be like, "I don't get pine."
No, I get no pine there.
No, but this is a good beer, really good beer. I would recommend it.
What would you score
to
that
anyone.
on?
So I would score it a 4. So you always say you score high.
Mm.
I try to score Midland, but fair. So it's not a beer
Fair to
that
Midland?
yeah, fair to Midland, whatever. It's not a beer that I'm going to drink all the time, but I would give it a solid 4.5.
Okay.
A solid 4.5.
That's close to what I would give it. Maybe a 4.25, and that's only because it's lacking that bitterness.
So for me, it's the melony, the
Mhm.
similarity to the Treehouse, which I really love Treehouse beers.
I notice a lot of breweries out that way, New York breweries especially, have that melony, juicy fruit gum off their yeast.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The esters.
So we went to, was it August or September, we went to Treehouse, and they had a 2-pour limit. But we got stuff to go, but everything was so, of course, you're right there at the brewery, so fresh, but the melon was just huge. And I get...
Yeah, the Treehouse yeast is crazy.
Ugh, unreal.
It's not my favorite, but it's huge. The esters off that yeast that they use is unbelievable. But Equilibrium, Other Half, all those New York breweries that I've tried in that area, in Rhode Island, not too far away, they all seem to have melony esters off their yeast. I don't know.
See, I really like that. So I like the hazies, the
it.
tropical, I like the bite, but then on the other hand, I really like that fresh, crisp, bright, melony. I don't know, there's something about it I just really like.
There you go, YouTube. That's Cactus. That's the Bissell collaboration. Their take on the original right here from Tilted Barn. Too bad we didn't have a fresh one of those to compare side by side. That would be good. Beer per view beers.
It would.
But anyways, that's for another day. Alright, YouTube. Until next time.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment.
Yes. If you had these beers, let us know.
Love
if
the
you
comments.
Talk to us anyway.
Right?
All
Cheers.
Right, cheers, everybody.